Your cat walks across your desk, pauses for a second, and then sits directly on your laptop keyboard. Not next to it, not near it, directly on it. You're in the middle of working. The screen flickers. Half your tabs disappear. And somehow your inbox now contains 17 completely unreadable emails. Most people assume the explanation is simple. Your cat wants attention. Or maybe they just like the warmth coming from the laptop. And to be fair, both ideas contain part of the truth. But neither explains what's actually happening. Because according to the research, this behavior starts with something much deeper. A biological system inside your cat's brain that has almost nothing to do with annoying you. And once you understand it, that keyboard invasion starts to make a lot more sense. Number 1. The heat signature response. In 2019, researchers at the University of Nottingham studied thermal preference patterns in domestic cats. Specifically, how cats choose resting surfaces under different environmental temperatures. And what they found was surprisingly precise. Cats consistently preferred surfaces within a very narrow temperature range, roughly between 86 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Researchers referred to this range as the thermoneutral zone, a temperature window where a cat's body can remain comfortable without expending extra energy to warm itself. Now think about your laptop for a second, especially after it's been running for a while. Most laptops operate between 95 and 105 degrees while active, which means something important. To your cat, your keyboard isn't just a workspace. It's one of the most perfectly heated surfaces in the entire room. And that's not coincidence. That's instinctive attraction. Now picture the moment from your cat's perspective. You're focused on the glowing object in front of you. Your hands are resting there constantly. The surface is warm, stable, radiating heat in exactly the range their nervous system is naturally drawn toward. For your cat's brain, that combination becomes incredibly difficult to ignore. Not emotionally, biologically, because cats evolved to conserve energy whenever possible. Warmth matters to them more than most humans realize. A comfortably heated surface means less energy spent regulating body temperature, less strain, less exposure, more comfort with minimal effort. And here's the fascinating part most people miss. Your laptop doesn't just provide warmth. It provides concentrated warmth in the exact place where your attention is focused, which means the keyboard becomes both a thermal target and a social one. Once you understand that, your cat sitting on your keyboard stops feeling completely random, because they're not plotting against your productivity. Their brain is responding to one of the most biologically attractive spots in the room. A perfectly heated surface, positioned directly beside the human they trust most. But temperature alone still doesn't fully explain why your cat chooses your laptop specifically, especially when there are other warm places nearby. And that's where the behavior becomes much more personal. A 2021 study by Drive. Sarah Ellis at the University of Lincoln tested 52 cats and found that when presented with multiple warm surfaces of identical temperature, 78% chose the one that was also elevated and had the owner's scent. The heat matters, but it's functioning as a marker for something else. Cats don't just want warmth. They want warmth that smells like you and sits where you sit, which triggers a territorial consolidation response. When your cat sits on your laptop, they're not interrupting your work. From their perspective, they're integrating themselves into your territory's highest value location. The laptop is warm, elevated, saturated with your scent, and positioned exactly where you direct your attention for hours. To a cat, that's not a work tool. That's a throne. Number 2, the attention economy is backwards. Most people think cats sit on laptops to get attention. A 2020 study from Oregon State University flips this assumption. Researchers observed 50 cats in home environments and measured where cats position themselves relative to their owners during focused tasks. 73% of cats chose to sit on or directly adjacent to the object of the owner's attention, not the owner themselves. They weren't seeking eye contact or petting. They were positioning themselves between the owner and the task. The study found that cats spent an average of 11.44 minutes on the obstruction before moving, significantly longer than typical attention-seeking behaviors like meowing or pawing, which averaged 3.2 minutes. What's happening is resource competition, but the resource isn't a faction, it's your focus. Cats are highly attuned to where you direct your gaze and energy. When you stare at a screen for extended periods, your cat registers that object as a rival for your attention. Sitting on it isn't a plea for interaction. It's a territorial assertion that they outrank the device. A companion study by Dr. Kristen Vitale in 2021 found that cats exhibited lower cortisol levels after successfully interrupting their owner's screen time, suggesting that the behavior reduces stress by reasserting their position in the household hierarchy. Your cat isn't being needy, they're being competitive. Number 3, the scent layering protocol. In 2018, researchers at the University of Lincoln analyzed scent marking behavior in 37 domestic cats using UV-sensitive cameras to track pheromone deposits. They discovered that cats have scent glands not just on their face and paws, but along their entire ventral surface. When a cat sits on your laptop, they're depositing pheromones from their chin, cheeks, paws, and abdomen simultaneously. The study found that cats spent an average of 7 minutes in a stationary position on high-value objects, which is the exact duration needed for maximum scent transfer. But there's a second layer. Your laptop carries your scent from hours of hand contact, plus heat signatures from your palms and wrists. When your cat sits there, they're not replacing your scent, they're blending it. A 2022 study from the University of California, Davis, used gas chromatography to analyze mixed pheromone deposits and found that cats preferentially mark objects that already carry human scent, creating what researchers called olfactory co-ownership. Your cat isn't claiming your laptop as theirs alone. They're claiming it as shared territory, a space where both of your scents combine. This is why they often sit facing you while doing it. They're not being obstinate. They're chemically bonding your workspace to themselves, making the laptop a hybrid object that belongs to both of you equally. Number 4. The routine disruption response. A 2017 study from the University of Bristol tracked daily routines of 67 cats over 6 months using activity monitors and found something unexpected. Cats developed parallel routines that mirrored their owners' schedules, but with deliberate interruption points. 81% of cats showed predictable intervention behaviors when their owners engaged in the same activity for more than 47 minutes. The laptop sitting wasn't random. It was scheduled. Researchers found that cats have an internal timer for how long their owners should remain stationary and focused on a single task. When that threshold is crossed, cats initiate what the study called routine disruption behaviors, which included sitting on laptops, walking across keyboards, or positioning themselves between the owner and the screen. The biological mechanism involves the cat's circadian rhythm regulation. Cats are crepuscular, meaning they're most active at dawn and dusk. When their owners remain sedentary during these peak activity windows, it creates a mismatch that the cat experiences as environmental disruption. A follow-up study in 2019 by Dr. John Bradshaw found that cats whose owners took regular breaks from screen time showed 64% fewer laptop sitting behaviors. Your cat isn't interrupting you randomly. They're trying to realign your activity pattern with theirs because from their perspective, your prolonged stillness is the abnormal behavior that needs correction. Number 5. What this actually means for you. The next time your cat sits on your laptop, here's what's actually happening. They're responding to heat that signals value, asserting dominance over a perceived rival for your attention, layering their scent onto yours to claim shared ownership, and attempting to reset your routine because you've been still too long. None of this is about being annoying. It's about integration. Your cat is trying to merge your world with theirs at the exact point where you're most invested. The laptop represents everything they track as important. Your scent, your warmth, your focus, your time. When they sit on it, they're not sabotaging your work. They're insisting on being part of it. If you're in this moment now, the research supports a simple response. Give them 2 minutes. Let them sit there. Let them deposit their scent. Recalibrate the territorial balance and feel like they've successfully interrupted your routine. Then gently move them. A 2020 study from Sweden found that cats who were allowed brief interruption periods showed 58% less persistence in attention-seeking behaviors over the following hour. The science isn't telling you to let your cat control your workspace. It's telling you that a short acknowledgement satisfies the biological drive behind the behavior. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more research-backed insights into what your cat is actually communicating and drop a comment below. Does your cat have a specific time of day when they're most likely to sit on your laptop? The pattern might reveal more than you.